There's a rehearsal after the church. Is
that when you got married?
Yeah. That weekend.
Yeah.
That's when they usually have my
So then, there's about, I don't know, there'll be about 80 people down there. And nice guy here, he says, hey Nels, let's go for a drink. This is Bobby, my parents are talking.
Oh dear, it's a bad story. You tell the story.
So we shoot out to Trent Avenue. The Chinese place out on Trent Avenue.
Why not?
So we're having a drink, and another leads, and then Jim Flirty, this guy we know, he's the bartender, and another leads to a drink, and then a couple of Nobby secretaries show up, and now we're all having Mrs. Nobby. It's 11 o'clock at night, you got to get going. And he says, well, the girls are having a party. You know, my friends, I want to be with my friends. So we end up way out on Sullivan, I don't know, way in the hell in the bush. And then
What do you mean bush? You mean
Bush was
Come on now. Come on now.
Let's get the language down, bro. You always had a problem with language. Way out in the Tulies. Say Tulies.
The next thing I wake up,
Cool, see you boys all
I think it's about 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm supposed to have my mother, I got to have my mother at the hairdresser at 8. I look over where my watch is and I see a note, and it's from my little buddy Nobby. Nels, I had to leave early, the kids got home. And then I look to my right and here's this girl. So I call a cab. The cab said it's going to be an hour. So I'm slapping this girl around, get up, get up. She says, I got to have a cup of coffee. And I'm like, and time's running out. You know? So I said, why don't I drive? You just sit there. She says, Nels, I'll tell you what, you know, when you're drunk, I'll come in and talk to your parents. Glad my mother wants to see a girl just hammered. I was going to get married in 2 hours.
A bad story, man. Divorce.
So, I'm driving like a maniac, you know, I finally going down Trent, I'm going about 70,
Oh.
no driver's license, no nothing. So it takes me about 20 minutes to convince him that I'm getting married. So he kind of believed, and then he called me to where I was staying. Well, at that time, Ron Houston was my best man.
That's a good call.
So now it's 9:30 and I walk in the house and I don't see a soul. Then all of a sudden I jump in the shower, you know, and here comes Spike, drunker than shit. Spike said, you know, the way he talks, hey, no, don't worry, let's have a little bit, you'll be back, relax.
Hot dog.
So then, I don't know, Joanne Kaladi cut my mother's hair, and I don't know who drove her there and who drove her back. My father was out in the back, he wouldn't even look at me.
I'm going to buy her
So anyways, Spike and I get out of the shower, and my mother, being a nice Italian woman she is, she came down 3 weeks early. 3 weeks early to make these nice flowers for the car. There wasn't one in the car that Spike and I were supposed to put. She was just fuming because, you know, 3 weeks she spent making these fancy flowers. So Spike's a nice guy, he gets one, licks it, and he puts it on the hood. I said, Spike, are you going to get me killed? My mother's talking to him in Italian 100 miles an hour. She's Hey, Spike, what's she saying? I said, I don't know. I don't think you want to know either. So we finally get everything organized as best as we can. I don't even know how we got to the church or who picked us up. So we walk in the church, and there's my wife with a beautiful dress on and about 1,000 bridesmaids. And I walk to the front, her mother looks at me, and she looks at me, she just says, where the hell have you been? I said, I got fallen on my eyes. That didn't work. She says, this is the biggest day of your life. I said, yeah, I understand. He said, said it last night.
Let's put those to the next part.
So anyway, we get some of the pictures taken, and I step in my wife's dress, and I think of that little rip, and that caused a problem. So finally her mother kicks me out of the church. And I go outside, now there's George Stolati, and he's in the wedding party. And he's got a van. And in the van, he's got alcohol. So all the grooms, myself, Nobby, all the brides, were all in the van, just sitting there, Bloody Marys, drinking, having a good time. People walking in the church by themselves, you know, just like, there's nobody walking in with them. So finally, George gets the idea, he says, Jesus Christ, we better get out there. So we go to leave, and Spike says, hey, Nels, we gotta have one more. Yeah, why not? So, we have one more, and then we sneak outside the back of the van and go sit behind the church, you know, drinking a Bloody Mary. All of a sudden, the father comes. He gives me this one. It's time. I don't know what I said in church. Don't remember.
As I do.
I think he said it for me.
Now, what do I say?
So then we get out of this church, and her mother won't even look at me. Her father, by the gun, would have been dead. My parents disowned me. I mean, I had no friends except Nobby and Spike, you know, my groups. So then we go to their house, and I asked her mother very politely, you know, I said, you know, can I get 1 hour's sleep? Fuck, she wouldn't listen. Biggest day of your life, and you want to sleep for an hour? I said, relax, forget it.
My mistake.
Spike hears about this. And Nobby says, let's go. So where do we go? We go to the Camelot in the park. So we're now in the Camelot, it's about what, 2 in the afternoon? About 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
About 2:30.
You know, I think we got about 400 or 500 people at a sit-down dinner. Finally, I think Nobby looks at his watch and says, Nels, it's 5 o'clock. Back in shit. So we all jump in Spike's car and we go down. Saturday night we're going down Division, and you know where that Division and Sharp was? There used to be a Chinese restaurant out now, so I have to go. In the middle division, the lights green. Spike says we need a drink. He puts a car in park, walks across the street, goes downstairs, and we're sitting for 10 minutes. Cars going by, lights are out, and he's just parked there. No driver. He comes back with 4 drinks. So we finally get to the reception hall, and I think everything is done eating dinner. And my wife just ready to divorce me.
Well, that was like 4 days later.
So then we all call up, we're sitting up at the top. And I can't keep my eyes on this. Nobby's kicking me, Spike's next to us, and Spike's like this. Well then, I says, Nobby, I'm not saying a word, you gotta speak. But Spike's the best man. He says, Spike, get up and say something.
Oh, bad.
Well, Spike did something, he's so drunk, he stands there and here, all of a nice looking girl, waitress comes walking by with a drink, and Spike is looking at it, and he passed out standing up. He never said one word. He passed out.
He was halfway there tonight.
You want to replace the
Ron Houston. He played with us. He was halfway there tonight. Yeah.
everything else out.
Kind of a chubby faced guy.
He was passed out, basically just.
So then Nobby gets up and says a few words, and everything's culture. So I get down and I got about 40 or 50 people from Canada down. So you're supposed to have a wife for the first dance. But I'm over in the corner drinking with the guys from Canada. They're my buddies. Well, my wife, her mother, and her father come over. Now they're both kind of not your ex, yeah.
You're still married right now.
So I don't even get a chance to have it. Spike says, dance with the next one. Who cares about the
Probably.
Then about a half hour later, I get a fight in the band because they're playing some crappy music, so we go out there and we start yelling and screaming.
So if we do
Then her
all
mother
the
grabs me by my tuxedo, hauls me out, gets my wife, and she takes me over to where I was
And
living.
then those
She went up one side and down the other, you know, I deserved every bit. And she just and we had the Sheraton Hotel. We had this suite upstairs. How in the hell did I know the guys from Cranbrook were staying 2 floors below me? Took the wife and put her in a room, and I went down with the boys from Cranbrook, and we drank all night. That was my wedding day.
I'll tell you, nobody's ever going to have wishes quite like that. I'll tell you.
I just can't believe it did that.
To make a long story short,
That was like 4
that's how much Chris meant to me.